Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It is in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me for pricing. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing a vintage Rolex Oyster Perpetual Day-Date Tridor. This is reference 18039, the BIC, all three golds co-molded in the bracelet. This watch is a 9 million, circa 1987 serial, a true vintage single quickset Day-Date Tridor. So the Tridor was launched with the single quickset generation as a fundamentally white gold Rolex Day-Date that also included co-molded white, yellow, and rose gold bracelet links. So you see white down the center, flanked by yellow, flanked by rose, and these are not mechanically affixed. They are one piece of metal with no blending or blurring of the distinctions between the golds. Very impressive stuff. The watch was phenomenally expensive in its day. As a result, it is exceedingly rare. So the watch is a standard 36mm size, fundamentally in white gold. In terms of thickness, it measures a reasonable 12.4 millimeters. And you can see that from lug to lug, it's 43.5 millimeters, and then 48.1 millimeters from end link to end link with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. This is the 18039, so it's technically a transitional generation, as these are often called. We'll throw it on my wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see even in the transitional era, that classic 36 millimeter Day-Date size was always ideal. This is how the model was launched in 1956, and it's always been a great blend of sports and dress. And here's why it's sporty. It's got the same fundamental movement architecture as a Submariner, a screw-down crown, oyster case, 100-meter water resistance, a sapphire crystal, and long before the rest of the Rolex model line, it got solid end links and solid center links. But it's also a dress watch, flat enough to fit underneath the cuff, compact enough to be discreet when necessary. And in the modern era of 2023, this can actually be a man's watch or a woman's watch, as I can see it wearing well on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. Taking a look at the bracelet, this is what defines the Day-Date's nickname. Now, often nicknamed the President or Presidential because of its illustrious and occasionally infamous owners, the watch was always properly called the Day-Date, but the bracelet is named Rolex President, and it launched with the model in 1956. It's a three-link design, and here you can see those ahead of their time, solid end and center links. Removable links are fixed in place using screws. You can see that there's a fair number of them on both sides of the clasp. We have the famed crown clasp. It's a snap-shut closure, and then the only visible sign of the partition between the two halves is the 5-point coronet, and that's how you open it up. Rolling around to the case, you could see back then Day-Date lug hoods were satinated and case flanks were polished. Later they would go to full polish, but this is a sign of the times. Again, remember, transitional reference. We have a twin lock crown in white gold. You know it's gold in a twin lock because it has two dots. Case back is an oyster screwed in. The bezel is a beautifully faceted yellow gold, and it is wonderfully intact. The lugs are super sharp here. They're also full and symmetrical side to side and end to end. So this watch has been refinished professionally and rarely, if ever, during its lifetime. And that is important because you can never restore metal. Taking a quick look at the dial, a lovely golden sunburst with yellow gold hands, Rolex crown, and hour indices. We have a chaptering outboard with a railroad style seconds and minutes track. And then you can see we have little dots of genuine patinaed tritium. And we'll take a quick look at the tritium patina here. You can see that the hands are Rolex factory Super Luminova replacement units, but the dial itself is all original late 80s tritium. And it is wonderful to see real faded ecru patina on lume in the era of Fotina everything. Now, this is a single quickset, which means we have a quickset for the date, but not the day, and we have open 9s and open 6s. The watch uses caliber 3055, which is actually a transitional movement for a transitional model. So you pull out the crown, we have hacking seconds, then you pull it out, and we have a quickset system, but if I turn it in the opposite direction, it just winds the watch. We don't yet have that double quickset functionality that wouldn't come along until the 1988 model year. Now, inside, caliber 3055 was the first high beat movement in a Rolex Day-Date. So automatic winding with bidirectional winding action, 45 to 48 hour power reserve, stop seconds, single quickset, 4 hertz beat rate or 8 beats per second. It's free sprung. That is to say, the balance is free-sprung for precise adjustment as well as durability, and it uses an overcoil hairspring shaped by hand, so no matter the physical position with respect to gravity, the watch will keep consistent time. The movement is also a COSC-certified Swiss chronometer. In its day, this watch would have been 100 meters water resistant, and again, solid lengths, sapphire crystal, 100-meter water resistance, high beat movement, quick set date. We were well on our way to the modern era with the innovations in this model. So reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.